Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3. And Congress shall have power to regulate commerce with foreign nations, among several states, and with the Indian tribes. While the etymology of the word commerce suggests that merchandise or goods for sale was integral to its original meaning, Chief Justice John Marshall in Gibbons v. Ogden interpreted the Commerce Clause broadly. Gibbons concerned whether the New York legislature would grant a monopoly to Aaron Golden and the operate steamships on New York waters, thereby preventing Thomas Gibson from operating a steamship between New York and New Jersey pursuant to a license granted by Congress. In defending his New York granted steamship monopoly, Ogden argued that transporting passengers did not constitute commerce under the Commerce Clause. Finding New York's grant of a steamship monopoly violated the Commerce Clause, Chief Justice Marshall reasoned that the commerce encompassed not only buying and selling, but also more generally intercourse and consequently navigation. Chief Justice wrote, "The subject to be regulated is commerce. The counsel for the appellee would limit it to the traffic, to buying and selling, or the interchange of commodities, and do not admit it comprehends navigation. This would restrict a general term applicable to many objects to one of the significations. Commerce, undoubtedly. This is traffic, but it is something more. It is intercourse." Marshall further noted the general understanding of the meaning of commerce, Article 1, Section 9, prohibition against Congress granting any preference by any regulation of commerce or revenue to the ports of one state over those of another, and Congress' power to impose embargoes. In Gibson's, Marshall qualified the word intercourse with the word commercial, thus retaining the element of monetary transactions. Initially, court viewed activities covered by Congress' Interstate Commerce Clause power narrowly. Thus, the court held Commerce Clause did not reach mining or manufacturing unless regardless whether the product moved in interstate commerce, insurance transactions crossing state lines, and baseball exhibitions between professional teams traveling from state to state. Similarly, the court held that Commerce Clause did not apply to contracts and insert advertisements in periodicals in another state or to render personal services in another state. Later decisions treated the Commerce Clause more expansively. In 1945, the court held that in Associated Press versus the United States that a press association gathering transmitting new clients to client newspapers to be interstate commerce. Likewise, in 1943, the court held in American Medical Association versus United States that activities of Group Health Association Incorporated serve only its own members that are trade capable of becoming interstate commerce. The court also held insurance transactions between an insurer and an insured in different states to be interstate commerce. Most importantly, the court held that manufacturing, mining, business transactions, and the like, which occur antecedent or subsequent to a move across state lines, are part of integrated commercial whole and covered by the Commerce Clause. As such, Supreme Court case law on the meaning of commerce and interstate commerce covers movements of persons, things, and whether for profit, not for profit, across state lines, communication, transmissions of intelligence, whether for commercial purposes or otherwise, and commercial negotiations that involve transportation of persons or things or flows of service or power across state lines.